Good evening, good evening, good evening. Kairos TCG here for episode 17 of Pokemon Card of the Week. It has been 4 weeks since I last did an episode. I've been very busy with life stuff and family stuff. It's been one hell of a ride, left, right, and center. But I I wanted to make this episode really good because today we're going to be talking about six cards cards for today as opposed to the original. So before I get into it, 2 weeks ago, literally last week, the card that I wanted to do was Terrapagos EX, but I chose not to talk about it because, well, what's there to talk about? It's a Pokemon that basically can't get hit by basic colorless, by non-colorless Pokemon from stage 1, stage 2. So that's the long and short of it. But today we're doing 6 cards, and to make up for the 4 weeks that I have been absent with content. So without further ado, let's dive into the first card. First card is Lacey from Stellar Crown. She is one of the Elite Four members in the Blueberry Academy, along with 3 others. Drayton, a dragon type leader. There's a steel type gym leader. I can't remember her name. And Crispin, and the champion being Karen from Twilight Masquerade. Only in this particular DLC, Karen is actually different in mentality. He's kind of more standoffish. So I believe Lacey, she comes from the Unova region. I believe she comes from the Unova region. I can't remember who she's related to, or I don't remember where she's from in the Unova region specifically, but that's where she's from. Lacey, she uses fairy types if I remember correctly. And it kind of makes sense due to her outfit being very, not like heavily pink, but like, it's just really interesting. The background looks really nice, and well, she's in one of the terrariums. But her effect says, shuffle your hand into your deck, then draw 4 cards. If your opponent has 3 or fewer prize cards remaining, draw 8 cards instead. That's actually not so bad. So, for your opponent's deficit, if I have my opponent at 3 or fewer prize cards, instead of drawing 4 cards, I can draw 8. But it does have a drawback, like it depends on where my deck count is. I could potentially go for a deck out, but then again, you wouldn't play that if you know that you're going to avoid a deck out. But early game, if you're just playing this just to get extra cards, it's a nice little card to have. But her alt art is really nice, and I hope to get my hands on it sooner than not, and maybe the other members of the Elite Four, the ones that are in this set specifically for Stellar Crown. Next up, we have another card from Stellar Crown, which is the Deluxe Bomb. It says, if the Pokemon this card is attached to is in the active spot and is damaged by an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, even if this Pokemon is knocked out, put 12 or 120 damage. 12 damage counters are 120, since one counter counts as 10 damage. Yeah, 1 damage is 10. 1 damage is 10 damage, 12 is 120. On the attacking Pokemon, if you placed any damage counter on this in this way, discard this card. This, honestly, if you're playing, like, I could see a variant of Charizard playing this, especially with the the Dust Skull and the Dust Skull Evo line being able to blow each other up. So you can potentially go Dust Noir, blow something up, right? You're losing a prize card. You have Charizard get stronger. Then you could play Deluxe Bomb. If let's say in a situation another Pokemon on their bench is whittled down, you can go for another knockout, especially if it's an EX. So let's say so the first Pokemon on your opponent's side, let's say it's an EX. Knocks one out. That's 2 prize cards you get, but from the Dust Noir, you lose one. You lose one because remember Dust Noir. You lose one. You gain 2 since you're knocking out a Pokemon EX in this scenario. Then with Deluxe Bomb, I can target another Pokemon on bench that's already whittled down, and let's say another EX. That's 4. That's another 2 prize cards, so that's 4. So that would be, yeah. Wait, no. That's not right. Yeah, I think I had the math all wrong. Yeah, I really feel like I had the math all wrong because Dust Noir, if Dust Noir knocks out oh no, I am right. My opponent only gets 1 prize card since Dust Noir himself is not an EX. But since if my opponent's Pokemon is an EX, I get 2 prize cards by knocking it out, and by Deluxe Bomb, by knocking out another EX, that's another 2, so it is 4. Wow, I'm really out of it today. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so sorry. I'm very out of it today. But I think this card is worth experimenting with for those of us, for those who are just making like gimmicky decks. But I think Charizard could use this, but again, there are other A-spec cards that actually get a better job done. Unfair Stamp, Hero's Cape, Prime Catcher, just to name a few. But I guess if you're the type of person who likes to experiment, then try out with the Deluxe Bomb and let me know in the comments how it works in any deck that you're playing. Let me know how it went out. So, the next card we're going to be talking about is the Survival Brace from Twilight Masquerade. And this card is literally the equivalent of a Focus Sash. The only difference is that the card leaves you at 10 HP instead of 1. Because in the games, a Focus Sash basically puts you at 1 if you're going to be knocked out by an attack that would knock you out. It puts you at 1 HP. The Survival Brace here, it says if the Pokemon this card is attached to has full HP and would be knocked out by damage from an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, it is not knocked out and its remaining HP becomes 10, then discard this card. I mean, it's a nice little quick knockout, but you also have to worry about Lost Vacuum. Like for a tool, Lost Vacuum, I can get rid of that and then potentially knock you out. So basically, you would have wasted an ace spec that you could have used for something else, depending on what deck you're playing. But it's all right. I'm not gonna say it's bad, but there are worse ace spec cards out there. Like this one, Dangerous Laser from Shrouded Fable. So, its effect literally says your opponent's active Pokemon is now burned and confused. I mean, nobody's gonna use this. I mean, if you're playing like a very, very gimmicky deck for like casual, sure. But, I mean, when you have cards like Pekkarunt running around and all that stuff, you're really not going to be using this. You're most definitely not. Like, I'd rather use the Deluxe Bomb over the Deluxe. Honestly, I would use the Deluxe Bomb and the Survival Brace over the Dangerous Laser. And next card we have is the Earthworm EX Full Art. So we're just going to take him out. And it's the Iona sleeve. So, I actually like this Pokemon. Its ability is Pummeling Payback. And it says, if this Pokemon is damaged by an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, even if this Pokemon is knocked out, put 2 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon for each metal energy attached to this Pokemon. You know what's weird? I actually have a friend who plays Dialga. I would not be surprised if he was actually going to if he ever planned to use this. Because my friend Jeff Falberg, he plays Dialga. He plays Origin Form Dialga. And I had to play him like last week, and he put a lot of mental energy on his Origin Form Dialga VMAX, on his V Star. And I actually wanted to I put this card in this video with this in mind, because considering that this is 2 damage counters, that's 20 damage per metal energy that you attach to this. So you can really be that person, attach a whole bunch of metal energy to it. And if it does get knocked out, you literally can slam your opponent. You can actually slam wait, is it active or just any Pokemon that gets, like, can this target any Pokemon, or can this just only, oh, opponent's Pokemon, even if this Pokemon is knocked out on the attacking, so that means the active one. So it's only the active one, it only can target. That's actually pretty good. Being able to, it's 20 times the number of the number of metal energy that you attach to this. Actually, I can see this Earthworm being, I could see I could see Earthworm being good somewhere down the line. It's worth, again, these cards that they're worth some of them are more worth experimenting with than others. Well, most of the A specs, not so much. Well, the Dangerous Laser, most definitely not. But the Earthworm, I actually could see this being used in some decks. Give it time. I would say give it a little time. And the second the second one is Rock Tomb for 4 colorless energy, and it hits for 150 damage. And it says, during your opponent's next turn, the defending Pokemon can't retreat. That's actually not bad. So that means, okay, so for 220, so that means every time it gets hit, it can slam you back. Okay, that's actually pretty cool. I never put 2 and 2 together, but this card might actually be pretty nasty in the right hands. In the right hands, I could see this being an absolute menace. He's a cool Pokemon, though, all in all. I just kept calling him the Alaskan Bullworm, and I applaud anyone who knows where the reference comes from. And the last card is going to be the Noctowl promo from the ETB from Stellar Crown. And its ability is Jewel Seeker. Once during your turn, when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, if you have any Terra Pokemon in play, you may search your deck for up to 2 trainer cards, reveal them, then put them into your hand, then shuffle the deck. That's actually, I think this is one of the main reasons a lot of people have been looking for this, because being able to excavate your deck for 2 trainer cards, like You can go for a Boss's Orders, you can go for an Arvin, you can go for Iono, Breer, Lacey. You literally can go any route you want, which is absolutely. I'm not sure if this is only trainer cards, but I think it also goes for items too. I'm not 100% sure because I haven't really seen how this. I haven't seen this card being played at all. I mean, the set just recently came out, so hopefully I'll be able to. Hopefully I'll have. Hopefully I'll have someone I know can fully explain it to me in the Discord server that I'm in to explain how this really works. And then its attack on the bottom is Speedwing, and it only hits for 60 damage for 2 colorless energy. And this is really nice art though. As a promo, it's a really nice one. And it makes things better because Noctowl is actually one of my favorite flying type Pokemon. It's actually one of my favorite flying types. And always remembers that Ash had one, he had a shiny one. And Noctowl actually has one of my favorite shinies. So that's this is it. That's the end of the video. If you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Again, I apologize for lack of content. I have been very busy with other stuff. I am going to try to make it up, I will try to double my efforts next time. So with that being said, have a good night, stay safe out there, and have a pleasant week. Peace.